Good morning. Welcome to the XM.com weekly market update. And with me once again is Peter McGuire, the CEO of XM. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Andrew.
Getting to the end of the year, but
Yes.
plenty of activity still, which is not surprising. So we'll start domestically as we always do. So with the Aussie economy, inflation is coming down very slowly.
Yes, it sure
Wage
is.
growth is still ticking up, and the RBA kept rates on hold yesterday, which was not surprising.
No, it wasn't. That's where everyone's mindset was, Andrew, and I agree with, the prognosis of it all. Let's see if there is. They're saying they could see a 25 basis point hike by March. So the jury's out. We'll just have to see if that materialises. The concern is wage price growth, and the headline, it is moving in the right direction, but we've just got to see how it goes over the next Christmas period as far as trade and inflation and all those factors that roll into the melting pot of CPI.
Yeah, and if we look at the retail sales numbers, they came out this week as well, which was negative 0.2%, which historically would not be a good number. But looking at it from an inflation perspective is probably not such a bad thing, because hopefully that will help bring that inflation rate down.
In a perverse way, that's what they're after. Again, how it materialises into Christmas sales and what we experienced last week with the Black Friday sale. So there's a lot of components there, and we've just got to see. It's a backward-looking metric, really. We're going to sit here in January together and go, right, how did it materialise over the Christmas period as far as sales? I think everyone, funny enough, Andrew, I mean, when I was a young boy, Christmas sales were really only the time of the year to buy a Christmas sale, which was at Christmas after Christmas Day. Now it seems there seems to be a sale on every week.
Well, there is though. That's the thing. Like you'd be mad to pay full price for anything.
Yes.
But I think on the back of that, the Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I know my kids are younger, and they were doing most of their Christmas shopping
on that 4-day week.
Yes, because the sales were there and they were just locking in what they needed. It'll be interesting. Like those, I think Adobe Analytics put out some numbers last week, and the spending was quite strong.
Yes.
But does that then?
Well, you've only got so much high firepower in your wallet, unless you're a multi, and most kids aren't, or most people that are retail, shopping.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see how the Christmas sales go, to see if that affects these numbers as well.
Yes.
So we had the Japanese CPI out as well, came in lower than expected at 2.6%, but we wouldn't expect too much movement from the Bank of Japan.
Yeah, BOJ policy. We've just got to see how that yen trades also, and the domestic economy over there. The Nikkei's had an outstanding year. Japanese stock market's on fire. So let's see where they are again after this Christmas period and where they're rolling into that first quarter. Yeah,
and we look at the yen there, stronger, but more so because the US dollar is weaker.
Yep, it's now under 104, was at 103.98. So that yen, I think it's got the potential to probably, hit that 145. But, when you're looking at currency trading, it's just, all over the shop, and that's all a trader wants. I mean, have a look at that movement just this month from, that 151, 152 sort of handle down to 147. Plenty of movement. It's only couple of weeks in.
And you sort of think with the talk coming out of the US re interest rates that the US dollar, you would think, probably could weaken a little bit more in the coming sort of weeks or months.
I would think so. Unless you see a surprise from Jay Powell.
Well, that's right. The US, PMI numbers came out overnight. Once again, a little bit stronger than anticipated. And as we've said many times, the resilience of that economy is pretty extraordinary.
Yeah, well, we've got a good number coming out this Friday, of course, non-farm payrolls, which will hit the market. So we've just got to see how that goes as far as, is it going to be weaker than expected or stronger, and the impact naturally to Fed policy decision.
Yeah, for sure. If we look at a few of the commodities now, gold is the flavour of the month, the last 4 weeks.
Yes.
Certainly a nice spike.
You bet. We at 21.44, it just boomed to the upside. And when you look at that chart since the start of November, what you've seen as far as movement, the push down and then all of a sudden boom, and now it's off 120 since Monday. It's hard no one can call where it's going. All I know is I think that volatility will remain in 24.
Yeah. But as you say, with the currencies and the commodities, the traders, they love that volatility.
Rubbing their hands with glee, Andrew.
That's what it's all about. And finally, talking about volatility.
Yeah, our good friends.
The oil market, unbelievable. We had the OPEC meeting, a lot of there seems to be conflicting stories coming out of that meeting.
Especially with the Africans, Angola and Nigeria, and how the compliance is going to be, well, managed, or even who's going to oversee it and how's it going to be interpreted by the market.
Yeah, but that clearly the cut of production, which has been in place now, they're sort of saying it's going to be in place for the first quarter of 2024, clearly not having an impact on the price as yet.
No, exactly right. And President Putin, he flies into UAE in the next matter of days, if not today, and he'll be touching base in Abu Dhabi and talking to the UAE as far as policy, and then flying in to meet Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi. So, you know, you've got the two heavyweights. They're conscious as far as US. Are we going to see some argy-bargy from those big OPEC players and say, this is what I think from studying this market. I wouldn't be surprised if they say, hey, gloves are off. US is pumping at these sort of numbers. Let's pull it right back as far as it's not as though it's like wheat or it's a commodity or orange juice, or you've got trees that are going bad on the vine.
Yeah.
This stuff stays in the ground. You use it another day.
Yeah, it's there.
It's there, and it ain't going anywhere, and they've got plenty of it. So maybe we're going to see a pullback as far as their mindset and spike prices higher. I don't know. It's going to be electric.
Yeah, but I think sort of the intention of cutting the oil clearly hasn't supported the oil price as yet. So but we'll see how that plays out.
Well, hasn't done any favours to OPEC.
No. And I think we're getting that disagreement coming out of that meeting.
Yes.
Is not a good look either.
No. Well, that's what everyone thought. It was set down for the Sunday, and then it was pushed back to Thursday, and everyone said, well, that gives everyone... There's two ways of looking at it. Either there's hostility in the camp, or we've got to round up everyone, and everyone's on the same footing, and everyone's the same mindset, and it's press the go button off. But that wasn't the case.
No. And I think with a lot of the oil trading these days, a lot of it is algo-based as well.
Yes.
So that makes the trading... The thought process of the trading very different to probably many years gone by. Yeah, and where it's, if you're getting 60-70% of the trades coming from an algo, you do get a disconnect between the futures and the physical.
You bet.
Yeah, so which is really interesting. But we'll keep an eye on that as well. There's going to be plenty of activity in the coming weeks. Getting closer to the Christmas and the year end. We'll do a bit of an equity wrap maybe next week about the markets, because there's been some fantastic markets this year on the equity side of things.
Yeah, I was 100% wrong, but I'm going to roll my dice and say 24 I might have been a little early.
Yeah, but it's sort of interesting. Like you sort of, as we've spoken about, the US has been, parts of the US has been hot, as has Japan.
Yes.
The ASX has been pretty much flat all year. China's been horrible.
Yes.
Hong Kong's been pretty bad. So
well, Moody's just downgraded, I should say, China.
Yeah.
So that's come out today. So what impact that's going to have as far as moving forward again, the property sector, and plenty to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. We'll keep an eye on it, and we'll regroup next week.
I'll look forward to it.
Great. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you, Andrew.
And that's the XM.com weekly market update.